Well, good morning. Breakfast with the Broker every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Hey, we're up at Florida Realtors headquarters up in Orlando today. Hence my casualness. We had to go casual because we're doing like a ropes course and all kinds of cool things, team building exercises, only for the benefit of the Florida Realtors, of course. So anyway, listen, I got a really exciting guest on here. We're going to talk about building businesses. We're going to talk about technology, apps. We're going to talk about what RE/MAX tools that have been using and how it's been going. We're going to talk about a lot. So, and now, by way of Nicholasville, Kentucky, he is the marketing and technology director at RE/MAX Creative Realty. He is the founder of Level Up Consulting Group. He even studied Parks and Rec at Union College. He's a dad, a husband, a green screen expert, and Jesus-loving marketing nerd that loves helping business owners achieve their dreams. He is Jeremy Collins.
Woo! Great intro. I'm going to get that recorded for my podcast, man.
Let's bring it. Absolutely. So, you've always given great energy and really have helped a lot of realtors, not even just brand centric, but just, people that are following you and through your Level Up Consulting Group and such.
Yep.
And we really appreciate you being here because it is about collaborating. It is about, we're not competitors, we're collaborators, and we're here to help and put forth. And the more people we help, the better our industry is.
I think that you hit the nail on the head. I think that, when I fell in love with RE/MAX, it was one of those deals that it really came with collaboration. And, I'm stoked about the network that RE/MAX has, but also the network that realtors have in general. We can literally work together and solve problems. It's unbelievable. You watch these Facebook groups that blow up with just answers after answers after answers of stuff we would never come up with ourselves. And, my passion is to build business leaders up. That's bottom line. I love to see them achieve their goals and honestly, the problem is they've got all this technology, got all these resources, and a lot of times you don't know what to do with it. And, so I think that's the key is figuring out what to do with it so you can reach those goals you want to reach.
Well, let's get into it. How are you reaching these goals? Are you, do you have systems to achieve goals,
Sure,
to help businesses really achieve goals? Because if you guys are, and I don't know if you wanted this or not, but being member of your Facebook group, Level Up, phenomenal. Just collaboration central, and tell me if I'm wrong. That's not just RE/MAX. It's brand. It's
right
every
now
brand.
we've actually went RE/MAX focused for now. So for now we've got 6 to 8 different brokers there that are part of that program, maybe more than that now. And I think we're over 200 agents now that we're focusing on a weekly. So every week we give new content out. Our goal is just to, if you can learn, my big point is if you can learn one thing new every week, man, we're gonna accomplish big things. And I think that's the real big key is accomplishing one thing a week, get excited about that, and then move forward. And I think that's the big deal. A lot of times we get stuck in the weeds with, there's so much technology out there. Facebook's changing daily, Instagram's changing, you got this crazy thing called TikTok, and it's everything's new, right? And the big deal is, I know I feel like doing dances every time, but I'm cool with that kind of stuff. But things are changing, and we just got to adapt. We have to figure out that one thing that works for us and work it. And don't get lost in the weeds. That's the big key here. Don't get lost with all these new stuff that's rolling everywhere. Figure out what works for you and do it.
So how do you keep accountable? Because, consistency is key, as you said, one thing a week, how do you stay out of that weeds and how do you keep consistency? Because sometimes, and there's a couple of times I didn't do this Facebook Live show for over 3 years. I've been doing this Facebook Live show every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Well, I've also missed, I regret missing 5 episodes, and you think you can make excuses. Like I was going to make an excuse to, postpone you this morning because I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to travel to Orlando to hopefully get allows them to give me a room to actually do this in. But you can make excuses, but you just got to. If your purpose is strong enough, let's do it.
I think think about this market we have in, man. We're in the market that's just nuts right now. Realtors that are real successful, they're working their butts off. They're writing 5 contracts, 7 contracts, 10 contracts before they're just doing one before, right? And so, they're writing these multiple offers. 15 multiple offers in one situation. They're working double all the time. The problem though is if you relax on certain things, if you relax on your marketing, if you relax on your farming, if you relax on your sphere reach, right? What happens 6 months from now? It all goes away. And so if we can't be consistent, we're going to have big problems later on. And so for me, I'm always like, all right, here, Monday morning, what's your goal? What do you want to achieve on Monday morning, right? Tuesday morning, what's your goal? The night before, think about what your next steps are. That's where you get success. When you know what you're going to do the next morning, you're not just drinking your coffee and enjoying the time, right? You go to work. That's the American dream. You work. And I think that's where the big things get achieved. We talked about earlier, so many people that can help us with this, right? There's resources out the wazoo. We just got to take advantage of it, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was actually listening to Rachel Hollis on a podcast, and she's a character if you haven't followed her. But one of the things she basically said, listen, you gotta keep consistent, right? You gotta, sometimes you don't want to do this and you don't want to do that and whatever, but you need to push forward because, if your purpose is greater than, what you don't want to do, stop making those excuses and go forward. So.
I was for 10 years, my wife and I were children's pastors at a larger church. And, my focus at that point in time was to help people get to a different level, right? To help them achieve what they want to achieve. And honestly, that has after I left full-time ministry and went to the business world, secular world, it is the same concept, man. Everybody's got goals. Everybody got wants. Everybody got dreams. We just need to help figure out how to achieve those. And I think it goes back to the very thing we talked about before with collaboration. Every day a new technology is going to come out. I'm a tech guy. I'm a marketing guy. It's what we do. I ran a marketing company. I run a print company still. It's what we do. And we just got to stay focused. I talk about video a lot, man. Video is, it's the crucial key to what's going to happen 4 years from now, 3 years from now, maybe even 2 years from now. 80% of all social media is video. Think about that for a minute. We have real estate agents that have never got on video and did anything yet. So are we behind the times or do we need to catch up? I think that's the big key.
Every agent, has something to say. And, the fears of video, and we've gone through this, years of drill it into my agents' heads and drill it into, people that I meet about video and whether it was Michael Thorne and Jesse Peters, really pushing, whether it was Michael Glickman, Sunrise with Mike, who really took it in. And, if you want to talk about discipline and consistency.
Every morning, man, he's out there.
3 years. Can you imagine for 3 years, every morning at whatever ungodly hour he gets up at, goes out to the beach and gives a motivational message and the followers that he's created, the relationships that he's built just by doing that. And he's not doing this, despite what everyone says, he's not doing this because, it's for him. He's doing it, helping other people. And when you help other people achieve their dreams like you do, you achieve yours as well.
I tell you what, I love when agents get it. I love when agents say, "Oh, I get it now." And then they start doing weekly videos, or they start, honestly recording bomb videos and sending it to their sphere just to say hi, just to say, "Hey, I just checking in, man." It's those short little things, the personal things that make the biggest difference in the world. And honestly, we and talk about marketing for a minute, we had this sphere, real estate agents had this little sphere. That inside that first little sphere is their sphere, right? It's the ones that already like them, already trust them. The problem is we don't connect with them enough. And then you've got this second extra layer, right? And that's the people we want to like us, want to know us, want to trust us, right? And so how do we bring them from one level to the next level? And it really comes down to consistency and being personal. We grew up, I can tell you 15 years ago doing videos for big companies, it was all about professionalism. It was all about, it has to be perfect. We had the perfect 3-point lighting. We had everything. And now, dude, we have a camera on our phone and we just pop it out and just use it. And people love it. That's the world we're living in. So we just got to make more advantage of it, man.
I mean, it used to be that a podcast studio would cost, thousands of dollars, right? I mean, this is basically my podcast studio, my Yeti mic, and I have a camera as well. But when you're looking at it, for $200, you could get started, and you know what? You don't even need that. Like you said, you could just put a tripod together with cost you $15-$20 on Amazon, and use your phone just like this. So
let me take a second, man. Let me encourage the brokers out there. And you don't have to be RE/MAX guys. Any broker. Let me just encourage you for a minute.
Just because I don't know if this is. So, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but this show was created for all brands, all independent. It doesn't matter what brand you are or who you're with, because I believe we're all collaborators, right?
I agree.
So it's just to perpetuate professionalism, give a ridiculous value on every interview, and that's why I'm very, very selective in who I want to bring on here, because I think you have to have that growth mindset, that mindset where you're bringing it and you want to help the industry. So sorry, Jeremy.
I tell you what, just, because my brain, sometimes I go squirrel moment. So, Lynchpin is a book that every broker, every real estate agent needs to read. It's called Lynchpin. Just look it up. It'll blow your mind, because it will get you into the new place of, oh crap, I need to create. I can do this, but going back to my previous statement, if you're a broker watching this, guys, invest in some kind of a short little studio, guys. My broker here at RE/MAX Creative, she's literally, we're just put $1,500 in recently, and we're getting ready to rebuild a whole studio for our agents. We're going to have a dedicated space right here where agents can walk in, pull their phone out, hit record, and literally just go out. And that's the key here. Open the doors to these agents to say, hey, guys, you can be creators. You're not just a real estate agent. You are a creator. And I think that's when the world opens up, because literally you can expose yourself to so many more people by the power of video, but also the power of social media. Learn it. There's plenty of YouTube everything. If you have a question, go YouTube it. It's the second largest search engine in the world. It's there for a reason.
Yeah. Not to belabor the point with Rachel Hollis, but she was talking about, listen, she was, if people don't know her story, but she was pretty impoverished, for most of her life. And she basically used Google to create this, multi-million-dollar company, get on stage. She has a high school diploma, not even a college degree. And but she learned it. She self-taught herself and built relationships. And when we talk about creation, and that's a great point, Jeremy. When you're talking about creation, that's what we are. We create and we build relationships. And the more you give to someone else, and the more you give to an industry and a community, think about it differently. Don't just sit in the box. You got to get outside that box and say, what can I do for my community? What does my community need? I'm just giving some examples. Susan Horn is one of my agents. And when the vaccinations started happening and putting out there, she was going to everyone she could hear, like everyone, like anyone who would listen to her. She was giving these different websites, and you know what? I drove by this place and this looked like it wasn't a line, and I drove by this place, and she really brought the community together. So
she became a resource to her community, man, and that's the big key, guys. I like probably nail it in my agents' heads, and every agent I talk to, guys, you are not only a real estate agent, you are a resource to your community. Be more. That's the big question I say. Be more. Be who you think you should be and do it. And I think that's the real big key to all this is helping people understand there's more to this than just selling homes. If the public are watching this, I know people are watching this. I've shared this around. There's more to what we do, more to real estate in general. I think real estate is actually the backbone to America in a lot of ways, because we talk to so many, we move people left and right. That's what we do. And I think if we can all be that top 10% of real estate agents, what they're doing, what they're accomplishing, we'll be happier in life for one. We'll be happy because a smile got on your face and you actually went home and you kissed your wife and you hugged your kids and you felt good about the day, right? Besides going to work and you feel like you're struggling every day. Just mindset, man, shift it.
Yep, absolutely. It's being a creator, it's being a community builder, and it's being a connector. And, we all need to, really kind of sometimes remind ourselves, speaking of shifting, we'll shift into technology because, what new technology are you most excited about?
I tell you what, man, there's a list of some things that we're starting to implement here, and real estate start seeing it. And some of the West Coast already started implementing some of this stuff. And so us on the East Coast sometimes get it like a year, 2 years later. But the big one that I'm loving is NFC technology. It's called near field communication technology. And so what it does is basically, we've all seen these. We've all seen the little tabs on the phones. You can put these on documents. You can put stickers now that have basically chips inside of them, and you can actually pass off documents to your clients. You can push videos on them. As people walk into an open house now, there's no more paper and pen anymore, right? Literally, you can go take your phone, you tap it to this little tablet thing, and literally you can sign up for your open house right there. Like the technology is amazing. Nowadays, with this near field technology, you can take a house and put this little beacon right in front of the house, right? And as someone drives by, a notification will pop in their phone. Hey, did you check out the house for sale? Look left. And literally, that is the world we're living in, is instant communication. I think that, when you put a for sale sign in the yard, give it 2 years, 3 years, and that's going to change. There's going to be a little beacon on the for sale sign. And when you're within a mile of that area, if you subscribe to any homes in the area, you're going to get notifications. You're within 2 miles of this house. You're within, it's amazing what's going to happen with that. And that's just one piece of technology that's going to go crazy in the next 2 years, man.
I agree. So, I was talking to someone who's big time into, cryptocurrency and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have him on my show, and he was talking about NFTs and, how, especially in California and Washington, and like you said, in the West Coast, they are basically taking these NFTs, which are like kind of artwork, and they're putting it onto a house. So imagine if you, created an NFT for a particular address that you got royalties consistently afterwards. It's crazy, the technology that's coming out, and in the next 30 days, we're bringing him on. I'm excited about that one. Discuss that.
I'm all into. I'm a crypto guy, man. I love this stuff. And so I think that as more as we learn about this new stuff and it rolls out, and I'm always thinking, how can we implement it in our industry, right? It's out there. How do we shift it? Every industry can use technology differently, right? But we're always looking for the next advantage. And so I think that's one. QR codes are huge right now, man. We are seeing like unbelievable in the transactions of it. So, most real estate agents, they send out postcards, right? They send out those postcards to a farm, a certain area, but most of them don't have QR codes on them. They just don't. And now we're seeing where, transition. So they're open the postcard, but now we're seeing that 15 people scan the QR code. And now we know who those 15 people are, so we can retarget them on Facebook. So, if, for example, I've got one agent that I think he sent out 200 postcards recently, and they all had QR codes on them. And I think 25 of them got scanned. So now, as soon as that person scanned that QR code, if they didn't take any action, if they didn't say, hey, what's my home worth, and try to fill out a form, within 2 minutes to 5 minutes, if they're scrolling on Facebook, they're going to see an ad for that agent going, hey, I know you saw me on a postcard recently. It's amazing what you can do with that kind of stuff. It's all about retargeting using Facebook Pixel, Google Pixel, and those are technologies that are going to game change everything.
Yeah, it's people used to think that was creepy, and now it's become normal.
That's right.
It's like because we expect it. I don't know if you saw. I think China was had QR codes in the sky.
Oh my God!
So I'm thinking about like planes, going up, over, where they used to do, those skywriting or whatever.
Yep.
Well, now you're going to see, I think, lasers with the QR codes.
And you see real estate agents now, man, taking they're basing the whole for sale sign and taking all the words off of it and just putting a QR code on it.
Yep.
it's working. It's amazing. You can put, we've got a Remax balloon in every single QR code we have.
I freaking love that, by the way. I am so good. I am so doing that. I am so good.
You should, because honestly, it is people. That's what people want.
Yeah,
they
don't want to see
get information.
Right. That's awesome. I love it. I love that. So
so those are the big ones, man. I'm really focusing on video. Text message marketing is a big one for me right now. We're getting a lot of results out of it. Not spammy text message marketing, not the hey blah blah blah. We're not doing that crap. We're actually doing the personalized text message marketing. Once they opt in, we can actually communicate them that way. If you're a real estate agent, you haven't created an actual VIP group for your sphere, your people that already love you, like you, and trust you, you should do that, because that is a game changer opportunity. Now you can actually speak one-on-one with them, right? That's the key. Give them more resources. Give them best place to find the best chicken in Lexington. That's the stuff that people fall in love with you about, because you become a resource. The Facebook pixel, if you're a real estate agent, you don't have the Facebook pixel installed on your website, you don't know how to use it, you need to reach out. I'd be glad to do a class on it, or, reach out and Google Facebook on YouTube and use Facebook pixel on YouTube. You'll find out how to use it. That's awesome, because you're spending money left and right. You know that, man. Real estate agents spend money left and right. The issue is, are we getting the best ROI out of it? And I think that is the focus of it is, are you actually getting a return on that money you're spending every month? And there's better tools out there to get you better return.
No, agreed. So let's talk a little bit about, I know this isn't brand specific, but, I really want to understand, Remax tools, and as they're coming through, what tools have you been excited with? Listen, we've looked at Bouge, and Bouge has gone up and down and left and right. And, sure. And I think, to a certain degree, maybe LLC hasn't really gave us too high of expectations in too short of a time frame. But now they're rolling out things that are just sick. Like
I tell you, I get excited about new tools and new technologies, and some of the big ones that if you're an outside agent of Remax and you want to hear about some of these tools, you may be like, holy crap, they're pretty daggone sweet. But as a Remax agent, if you're not even utilizing these tools, you should really look at First.io. First.io is, honestly, I have done so much research on this bad boy. It blows your mind. I got a demo account. And so when I was playing around with it, I uploaded my whole contact database. And then a week before, you got it, man. A week before I started really playing heavy with the First.io app, I actually talked to someone about they were getting or having a new baby. They're thinking about moving, and within a week, they became a 3-star on my app because of the actions they took. So this is like AI technology, Big Brother kind of looking down, and it is amazing. The lists are true. So it actually every day you can wake up and it gives you 10 individuals to call, and something with those 10 individuals made them go on the list. Whether it be, they're having a baby, or which means they're probably going to move at some point in time, or they posted on social media about possibly moving, or they're looking to go, maybe they're going on Zillow and they're looking for properties. There's elements like that tell us as agents, hey, ding, 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 something's going on. We need to reach out. And it's all about remembrance, reminding yourself to connect with these people. And it builds relationships, man. I love it, because every morning I wake up, and I'm not an official agent. And I wake up and I go in there and I text people from the app, just because it's a relationship for me. Yep. And it grows my relationships.
So the best thing that, by far that Remax has ever done is buy free. But when you look at this, my agents love it, and I do too. I don't know that I love it, but it's a big accountability piece. If you look at, it tells you how many deals you've won and how many deals you've lost. Well, I've lost $41 million, in business. That's not good. Dave, I should probably stop Breakfast with a Broker and start contacting my open more relationships. But
it is, but it's a kick in the butt, man. That's what I love about it. Is, you know, this every day when you wake up, you go, holy crap, John, I missed John. John sold a house without me, you know, and it keeps us the remembrance that we have to. It's not the people's job to remember we're an agent, right? That's not their job. It's our job to remind them that we are agents.
We're not entitled to anyone's business, including our parents. So, you know, you have to really, really connect with people and let them know, you know, what you're doing and how you're helping people, because, you know, they want to know, like, and trust you. And if they, you know, if that wanes, it's your fault, not theirs.
True.
You know, and
the other technology, man, that RE/MAX has is Megaphone. Megaphone has been a huge opportunity for us. You know, agents struggle with Facebook ads, especially back since I think 2 Februarys ago when all the privacy crap came out. You know, it basically blocked us from being able to run ads to certain people. And so with Megaphone, they've got the technology, man. Now our agents, as soon as they get a new listing, they can auto put an ad out. You know, so you can see a property, you have 10,000 eyeballs see a property for $32. I mean, it's unbelievable, the ad structure there. And then they rolled out, you know, when all the content stuff rolled back out into Megaphone, now we can actually hit one button, 2 or 3 buttons, and literally create 15 to 20 different marketing pieces automatically for our clients. You know, so the next morning when a client, you know, let's say we sign a contract on Sunday, and then Monday we're going to put the property on the market. That Monday morning, we can have 15, 20 pieces of content auto created for us, just like that. You know, no one else is doing that, man. And you know, it's up to our agents to use the technology. But another thing about Megaphone, I taught a class yesterday on it. You can actually go in there and get leads right from Megaphone. So basically, I could do a radius search of a mile of a certain subdivision, right? And let's say I want 200 houses within that mile. And it will actually give us their names, the phone numbers sometimes, and even the addresses of people in the area. Drop that into First.io, drop that into our database, and then bam, now we have more information. Information overload with Megaphone, man. I tell you what, if agents aren't just diving into that and going full force into it, they're just missing the boat.
Yep. Last few questions, right? So we had I think it was like 100 million internet leads last year, right?
Yep.
And there's only 5 million transaction sites.
That's right.
You know, how do you navigate these internet leads? You know, because it's time consuming. It's frustrating. You know, what should agents be doing on the to convert these internet leads or to qualify these internet leads correctly?
You know, I tell you what, there's a couple of big steps that we're teaching our agents. The first one is obviously reach out via text. You know, and I'm a big believer in text video, man. We've seen just these internet leads that aren't responding at all, but they honestly respond or they get reaction to a video. Now, how many times do you go through a day and you receive a video text? Very rarely, right? Like you barely ever, I never get a video text unless I'm sending it to myself or something. But, you know, I send video text all the time. That is one step that you're going to be able to kill the game with it. You will increase your internet leads return by 20% if you just send out pop it up and say, hey, this is Jeremy Collins. I just saw you, blah, 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 come through. And that's it. That's all it was to it, man. And you send it out. And I think that's a big crucial key. The next one is drip campaigns. You know, I love drip campaigns, meaning everything they always get. So let's say 7 months from now, the people that knew the internet lead I got 7 months ago, they're still going to get something from me 7 months from now unless they unsubscribe from me. And there's no way. Let's say we get 20 internet leads a month, 50 internet leads a month. There's no way we can keep contacting them manually over and over and over and over. So drip campaigns are the way to do it. Text drip campaigns are another way of doing it. You know, we always have to be, you talked about earlier, consistency, man. We have to be sure that our people know who we are and consistently communicate with them. You know, some of our agents probably pop up their database and be like, oh, I haven't talked to him over 2 years. And that's probably one of the 41 people they missed the transaction with, you know? Yeah. It's all about drips, all about consistent communication, putting out content that makes sense for them, you know, checking back in. Don't let these leads, I know agents right now that have hundreds of dead leads, they call them. They're not dead. You're just not reviving them. That's the problem. You know, you're not actually keeping reaching out to them. I think the number 17 or something like that. The last I read that, it takes 17 connections with someone before they actually sometimes respond or connect with you in real estate. 17 is a crazy amount, but don't stop at 16, right? You got to go through.
Yeah, no, agreed. So, real quick, my last two questions I always end the show with, and I don't know if you watch a streaming series or not, but what's your favorite all-time streaming series, like through Netflix, Hulu, or whatever? And what are you currently watching?
I'm a sci-fi guy, man. I'm sorry, it's just who I am. And I grew up with. I'm actually watching the old stuff now. I'm actually watching the Stargate stuff from the old MacGyver guy that, I grew up watching MacGyver, and MacGyver was one of those series that I love because they're always thinking outside the box. And I just love that stuff. It gets your brain going. And so MacGyver is one of the shows that I'm watching Stargate. And so I've got all kinds of stuff. I guess, is there a question there? What's the question?
Yeah, so there's a question about Karen Randall's. She's asking about video texting, and I use BombBomb. I think you do as well when you're doing the video texting. So a lot of times when people are video texting, they're putting the iCloud link or because it may be too long or whatever. But she's asking, she doesn't open up links. Does it show up on your phone as a video?
Yes, most of them in today's world now, especially with all the new iOS stuff for sure, it will show up as a video right there inside of your phone, which you actually see it. Another trick I do is because you don't know what it's going to look like on their end sometimes. So I sent a picture of the video. So it's basically, it looks like a video. I sent a picture with it, and then I put a link to it. People are more likely to click it if a picture comes up with it. So I will text a picture. I'll do a snapshot of the video. On my phone, I will screenshot the video, and that's a picture now. And then I actually put the link to the video sometimes. BombBomb is an amazing tool if you're not using it. It's like $30 a month or something like that, and it opens everything. You can text the video out, opens directly on any Android or iPhone, or you can send it other ways. But that's the way I do it. Or if you don't want to use BombBomb, take your phone, record it, send it as a text message, and it plays right there. It won't play as a link. It plays right there in their phone.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. Listen, Jeremy, I mean, how can we get in touch with you? How can we learn more about you and such? Yeah,
feel free anytime, guys. You guys can reach out to me at jcollins@remax.net. That's my email address. I feel great. Fill it full with questions. I love to answer questions. And beyond that, you can always reach me at Remax Creative. Just search Remax Creative. You'll find me in there. Or Facebook, just look up Jeremy Collins. The last place is Level Up. Just look up Level Up Consulting Group on Facebook. I love helping up other brokers, other owners, other real estate agents, defining how to use their technology, right? And what's best way to use it for them. Everybody's business is different. Don't let anybody tell you that you do one thing and it works for everybody. It's just not the case. It doesn't work that way, right? Figure out what works for you and then work that.
Awesome. Jeremy, you've been great. We've talked about, connecting. We've talked about, being creative, thinking outside the box, video texting, huge in converting some of these internet leads and such. Megaphone first. We've talked about a lot of stuff here, being consistent and such. And listen, that way, I guess you will level up, won't you?
That's right, man.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. I really appreciate it. All right, take care.
Have a good day. Enjoy your rope course.
Thanks.